Sheriff addresses rash of stupid. By Carlos Galarza VEVE. Staff writer. Punta Gorda, lashing out at what he calls a rash of stupid within his department of late. Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Prummell announced Tuesday the resignation of a sergeant involved in a bar scuffle and the termination of another deputy who engaged in dating violence and alleged stalking. The new turnover at the agency comes on the heels of Prummell firing a corrections deputy at the Charlotte County Jail after an inmate claimed he was coerced into eating his own feces. Facing a re-election challenge from two opponents in the general election November 8, Prummell put his department on notice that he will hold law enforcement officers to a higher standard of conduct. "There's no doubt that I've had a rash of stupid going on here in this agency lately," Prummell said before television cameras and reporters at the sheriff's headquarters. "Our members are told what is expected of them. At the end of the day, they made a choice and now they have to live with the consequences of their choice and their actions." Prummell identified the officer who resigned as Sergeant Lance Holden, a 22-year veteran of the force. He said the officer fired was Deputy First Class Anthony Nardi, who had been 10 years with the sheriff's office. Prummell said a notice of intent to discipline was handed to Holden, which gave the sergeant 3 days to respond. However, Prummell said, Holden never met with him, and instead chose to submit his resignation effective September 15. Prummell released the Internal Affairs report on Holden, which concluded that he was the primary aggressor in a raucous exchange with a patron at Englewood's Plachita Pearl nightclub on August 13. The report said Holden intentionally pushed the patron twice without apparent provocation in violation of department policy. Sheriff's investigators also concluded Holden's conduct was unbecoming an officer in violation of agency policy. Prummell said his office turned over its findings of the bar incident to the state attorney's office, which chose to not file any charges against the officer. The sheriff also released the internal investigation that concluded there was enough third-party corroboration through statements and text message evidence to raise reasonable suspicion Nardi was involved in some type of domestic violence involving the crime of battery against his former girlfriend. Told by his former girlfriend that she was seeing someone else, Nardi went to her house at 4:30 a.m. while he was on duty and saw another vehicle in her driveway, according to the investigative report. Jealous and curious to see who was at his ex-girlfriend's home, the officer used the sheriff's driver and vehicle information database, better known by its acronym DAVID. Once he found out who it was, Nardi admitted he became jealous and began sending his ex-girlfriend inappropriate and threatening text messages, the report concluded. The threatening text messages included one highlighted by the report in which he referenced the male at the victim's home. "If that child molester expletive deleted is still there, shot's going to go down," the report noted. Prummell said his investigators' report on Nardi also was sent to the state attorney's office with its recommendations. The state attorney's office confirmed it is reviewing the incident involving Nardi at the request of the sheriff's office, according to a spokesperson. The inappropriate use of David by a deputy surfaced last week also in a separate case. Prummell's office reprimanded Deputy Robert Tuck after he used the database system to obtain personal information on a private citizen and put it out on social media. Tuck targeted Andrew Sheets, who is the creator of Charlotte County COPWATCH, an online forum that tracks alleged abuses by law enforcement officers. Asked whether he was concerned that the public might be losing confidence in the sheriff's office because of these incidents involving deputies, Prummell said the masses should not be judged by the actions of a few. "In the last several months I've had several deputies do some really stupid crap, but ultimately what we've seen time and time again is that our community has stood behind us," Prummell said. "They know that it's just the action of the few. That's not the entire agency. I have a very professional organization here, but every so often somebody does step over that line. It just seems lately I've had more people step over that line than normal." Email, galars@sun-herald.com.
Hey Charlotte County, as you can see, we are back at Leo Affairs where if you're following my stuff, a lot of this stuff has happened here in Charlotte County. This is a place where they outed me. This is where a lot of people don't know. This is where cops and sheriffs and regular people can go chat, and you can do it anonymously also. And as you can see, Forum, U.S. States, Florida, Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, and the topic was dispatch. And yeah, they totally outed me, outed all my information. And we did a FOIA search, found out Robert Tuck did it, and we found out he is a corrupt bastard. In fact, that's why one of the lawyers here in town contacted every single news agency he knew to tell him what happened, you know, to possibly save our life, man, because this guy's not a good guy. He didn't look up all my information to bring me flowers. So, you know, in these chat rooms, you know, they keep telling me, we're not corrupt, we never did anything wrong, and if you've been following my YouTube and or this area, they just busted 2 more corrupt cops. And the reason why we're complaining about it is because one of the cops, he quit before he could get reprimanded or whatever else he did. He's been in multiple bar fights through the years. He's never charged. He quit. Here's the reason. He quit so he can get another job somewhere else, okay? This is a scam. He has no charge, so he can still get hired. And we're getting into another fight in these chat rooms because, you know, as you see right here, that's the point that I made. You know, he got fired, but, you know, not charged. Now he's going to get another job. And then what's really funny is they busted another cop. His name is Nardi, Sheriff Nardi. Holy crap, man. This guy stalked his ex-girlfriend and all of her friends and boyfriends, used the David system, the NCIS system. They got GPS stuff on it. I guess his file, IA report, is long. So here's what happened. He is not freaking charged. If you or me did that, we would be charged. We would be in trouble. Period. It'd be on our record forever. You know, if they actually do get a charge, they actually get it off their record. Like, I think it's 2 or 3 years. It's a joke. It's a scam. So here again, guess what? He was fired, no charge. Guess what? He can get a job again somewhere else so he can stalk somebody else again. Okay? This is nuts. This is not right. This is bull crap. And so as you see, I made a comment here, and everybody should. You should get in here and find out what these corrupt bastards are saying. This is bull crap. This is like 2 different forms of justice. One form of justice for the thick blue line of corruption, and one for us regular people. Holy crap. So, you know, 2 more corrupts gone, and then look at that. See, here we go again. Just because I point something out, Crazy Sheets has it again. Angie, the 2 deputies we were talking about held responsible for the boy charges and were fired. 1 resigned. Any possible criminal charge reported to the state attorney's office. The state attorney's office has a decision to either prosecute the case or not. So here's another problem. Did you know the state attorney and or prosecutor is a cop? How often do cops really go against cops? And here's the other scam. They usually will charge a cop with a misdemeanor. Okay, they'll say, okay, see, we did charge him. It's a misdemeanor. Guess what the scam is? A misdemeanor, you don't lose your license. You still get hired somewhere else. It's a frickin' scam. This Andrew Nardi guy, or what, Anthony Nardi, you know, oh my God, he stalked the piss out of his ex-girlfriend and all of her friends. It's bad. I can't wait to get the report. I already did a FOIA request. Everybody needs to learn how to do a FOIA request. You know, the cops and the sheriffs hold you accountable every single day. You need to hold them accountable. It's like, who's watching the chicken coop? If nobody's watching the chicken coop, guess what? The fox is here, man. Really big. Bad. So that's what all the, you know, the new fight here is all about. And, you know, and this is insane. You just busted 2 more and you still say that you've done nothing wrong. Freaking, you know who's mental, man? The freaking cops and the freaking sheriffs. This is insane. Or they can determine it wasn't a criminal act and won't be able to prove it in court. The sole decision is to prosecute the state attorney's office, sheriff's office. If there was any legal corruption going on, they would have been forwarded to the state attorney's office for potential prosecution. In this case, the case were investigating and forwarded to prosecution and deputies were fired. So there's absolutely no corruption. Again, if you try making something out of nothing, you always keep referring to Ken Hill getting the case thrown in a cart. Start trying to convince people there's a criminal case and tell the truth. The fact is, is the case was a civil case dispute between you and your neighbor, and the court and the judge told you you had no standing, so when you do not get your way, you automatically scream corruption. If you stop trying to make something out of nothing, stop trying to get your 5 minutes of fame, stop being a psychotic idiot, maybe you would get along with your neighbors. Just saying. So this is what he's talking about. This is where it all started, is yes, this neighborhood sucks balls. We wondered why we got the house so cheap. Well, now we know why, because a neighborhood sucks balls. One of the neighbors turned into a psycho, took him to court for stalking. I mean, we hit our stalking order against him within an hour when he filed, and it must have been a good case because he hired the best attorney in town. And by the way, his family is corrupt. Michael P. Haymans. His father was a judge and was disbarred, taken off the bench because of the corruption. So anyways, literally 5 minutes before court started, I went there by myself and with my pastor from church. They got the judge switched out. The judge that gave me the stalking order on the bad neighbor, they switched the judge, so now we got a new judge. And like I said, he hired the best attorney in town, and the sheriff deputy Ken, who is dead now, probably from guilt from all the crap that he did to people for victimless crimes, committed perjury in court and got it thrown out. So literally, what they're telling you here, and it's true, this neighborhood is why Charlotte County COPWATCH started. Because of that woke me up. I'm like, holy crap, man, this is corrupt. And then I found out it's so corrupt, it's beyond my wildest dreams. You know, because when that happened, I was thinking to myself, man, if this happened to me, what else is happening out there? And I'm like, and now we're finding out. This is insane. So that's the story. It's true. But I guess if you try to bust corruption there, you try to tell your story of what happened, you're psychotic, you do meth, blah, blah, blah. It's really, really sad, man. Okay, there you go. How do these officers, and here's some responses for people that have a brain. How do these officers not get fired because of corrupt acts? How is allowing corrupt officers to get hired somewhere else not corrupt? These were forwarded to the state attorneys and nothing was done. How is that not corruption? Is corruption a civil case any less corrupt than a criminal case? Correction. Is corruption in a civil case any less corrupt than a criminal case? And then, of course, they don't like people, bringing up points, and yeah, your post makes no sense. They were fired. Who freaking cares if they were fired, you stupid ass? Jesus Christ, man. They should be charged. That one sheriff had multiple bar fights. Judas Priest, that's talking, you got an attitude problem. You should not be messing with people because your attitude sucks. You're probably an alcoholic. The other guy, Nardi, oh my God, stalk, 30 pages I've heard of proof of him stalking using the David system, the NCI system on him and all our friends. Wow. And you say that's normal? You guys are sick. What do you think?
Noon, Week News has brand new developments about two internal investigations by the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office.
Big question, are we any closer to the answers? Week News reporter Christy Gross, she was at this morning's presser. She joins us live there. Christy, what are we learning here now at noon?
Yeah, Sean, Sheriff PRUMMELL held this press conference to update us on a couple of internal affairs investigations that have to do with deputies' misconduct. That first case has to do with the Sergeant Lance Holden. We first told you about him about a month ago when the sheriff's office told us he was involved in a drunken shoving match with a friend at a sports bar. The state attorney's office was also investigating this case, but ultimately decided not to prosecute because no one involved wanted to press charges. Holden was given a disciplinary notice, but resigned before he ever met with Sheriff PRUMMELL. The second case involves a deputy, Anthony Nardi, who was fired after allegations of what the sheriff's office is calling dating violence and stalking of a woman. The state attorney's office is also investigating this case, but hasn't decided whether or not they will pursue charges. This is what the sheriff had to say about the growing number of incidences involving his deputies.
There's no doubt that I've had a rash of stupid going on here in this agency here lately. We train our members, and our members are told what is expected of them. But at the end of the day, they made a choice, and now they have to live with the consequences of their choice and their actions.
When asked if he's worried that the public is losing confidence in his department, Sheriff PRUMMELL asked that the actions of a few not be seen as a reflection of his department as a whole. Live in Charlotte County, Christy Gross, Wink News Now.